All right, so uh, this house was built in the 70s, and I've got one of these functioning Thatcher steam boiling systems that feeds my heating baseboard around around the house. I've got two floors, um, and my pump gave up on me. And so I went ahead and replaced it. It was giving me trouble since last year. And I went ahead and so they actually don't make this anymore. All right, they don't make this exact pump anymore. But luckily, the company is still around, and I was able to get a comparable pump to what I had originally installed, and it was a perfect fit. So I'm really happy about that. Now, I don't know anything about HVAC or heating systems, any of that. And so I thought, let me DIY it. And now I can't figure out how to feed water back into the system, into zone 1 and into zone 2, because I've drained it. I tried getting, these are my return lines. Honestly, all I did was follow the path of the main water system, how it's getting into the system, and what goes out comes back. So here are my return lines, and I also kind of just walked around the house and figured it out. Now I had Michael and Sons, the company that I thought they would be able to help me with this, and they just don't service these old Thatcher boiler steam systems. So I thought this was a drain system, and I ended up opening this, draining maybe 6 gallons. This is a 5-gallon bucket. So I think I've drained 6 gallons, but now I can't figure out how to put water back into the system so that I can get it back into my return lines and hopefully get any air pockets out, right? But I can't figure out. Now, one thing that the technician that came to visit mentioned to me was that this might be an inlet, meaning that I have to push the water into the boiler system. And luckily I had the hose, right? And so I've attached it, and I'm gonna try to feed, because it kind of makes sense. This pump right here is pushing downwards. You can see that the arrow right there, right? It's pushing downwards. So this might make sense, refeeding manually the water. So I hope so, because otherwise I've got to find a company that actually can service these old systems. It's been working perfectly fine up until the old pump gave up. And if I had something to open it with, bear with me here, I can show you guys what broke. It's like I don't even know what the right terminology is for it, but what really it's in there. that stuff, it just snapped, you know. Anyways, I'll let you guys know once. All right, so here's the update. Like I said, I am manually feeding it through the hose, right? Through the hose and feeding the boiler. And it seems to be working. So I'm just feeding it through here. And as you can see now, my PSI is actually moving up. I did not have any movement. It was down to 0 at some point, right? When I purged it. But I couldn't figure out how to fill the system. There is no valve. Normally, I think all these new systems would have a valve similar to that, where I can, similar to that one right there. These new systems have a valve that will automatically fill your boiler. Right, here's the tank. It would automatically fill it. But so far, so good. I'm slowly filling it, just slow. As you can see, it's now moving up. See that? There you are. So we're roughly about 8 PSI, 10 PSI. So I think right about now, I'm gonna probably open up the valve and then try to fill up zone 2, because I don't think I'm supposed to go higher than 15 PSIs. All right, so here's the update, another update. I ended up having this 2x1 and the hoses already. So luckily, all I did was attach it to there. Zone 1, this is all zone 1, right? 2 different sections of the house. And they just come down, like I said, come down in here into the bucket, make sure there's no bubbles in there. As far as my PSI, it's building up. I brought it back down to 0. I brought it back down to 0, but as of right now, you know, my heater's working, the pressure's right. So I'm just gonna build it up probably to 12 pounds. And then call it a day. That's pretty much it. I figured it out. I still got to do basement zone, which would be this guy. But, you know, at least at this point, the basement is so short. It's a short run. And it's just this area back here. So there you go. Again, this is the original. I don't know if you guys can see that. The original Thatcher that was put in with this house. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So, you know, I'm happy that I got to clean all that stuff out right there. But I'm happy that I was able to figure this out, because, you know,